Hi there, welcome to Nighttime Line Talks. Hola, bienvenidos a Charlas de la Noche. This pandemic is not over yet, but politicians already back to business, and not regular business. It seems that some groups are approaching the structure of the people's confidence. In the meantime, when somebody passes a confidence, everybody mentioned that with the Spanish flu in 1918, people after quarantine goes to the streets, they say it's over, no problem, everybody is happy. Well, they go, they don't use mouth guards, they don't use gloves, they don't take precautions. And guess what? 4,800 people pass away on the second wave of the infection. So we cannot celebrate this huge problem is over. State governments are giving permission to come back on business, taking measures, social distance, mouth guards, and washing our hands often, as well taking our shower every day. In fact, I left my clothes and my shoes in a trash bag outside the house. And I get into the house in underwears and t-shirt, and I go straight to the shower. After I take my shower, I wear clean clothes, and I don't go outside anymore until the day after. Why I am telling you these details? Because it's important. Keep protecting your family. Family is the most important asset in our lives. And assets are not material things. I am talking on the values, on the comfort we have and confidence in each other. So I have members of my family on high risk, and I don't play games. I don't go out. Sometimes I do groceries online. Sometimes, even when I receive the groceries or something from Amazon, we take the box outside, put on the trash can, and with Clorox towel or alcohol wipes, we clean everything before to put into the house. But it's important to do that because we don't know where it's coming from, all this stuff, how many hands touch it. I saw videos from China, from the companies that manufacture the mouth guards and medical equipment. They don't do in the safety and clean sanitary conditions. No. It's frustrating. I saw in a Chinese investigative report like 60 Minutes that is produced in other countries because China has a lot of censorship over their media, and they are not taking care of the right measures to prepare merchandises that are exporting all over the world. And they take the mouth covers and they put in a plastic bag and they seal it like consumers think it is very clean, very safe. No, they pick up a bunch of mouth covers from the ground and put in a bag, and it is sad, it's disgusting. But we are very dependable on China. We have no choice. China produces 65% of the components for medications. China produces almost 60% of medical equipment, peripherals, devices, oxygen masks, and they also produce syringes and whatever. Many things are used on the operating room and on the units of intensive care are made in China. Imagine that after this experience, President Trump met with the most representative task force of the industry, of the commerce, and many people, and he broke under their attention how we depend for almost everything from China. And it's not good. Depends from one single country for many things we use on the daily basis. That is a mistake. Now, many people can say, oh no, let's go to manufacture in Mexico. It's closed Mexico, and we reduce cost. Well, the capacity of production of China is unique. Nobody can beat China on deadlines for fully execute a production in short times. That is what kept Steve Jobs from Apple to keep doing his computers in China, because nobody else can beat such deadlines. Nobody else in the world can meet the technology quality. And their timeline is when they start the first part of the process. When they assemble, they make on one line, they make chips, microchips, etc. On the other line, they put together. In the next line, they put the keyboards. Next line, they put the screen. At the end of the line, somebody pack, and the computer is ready for sale, including the QC process controls. Obviously, everybody check in QC if it's working fine, etc. But China is a champion on the world of business for meeting all deadlines. Nobody beats China. When I was working on Turner Network Television, I was talking with one of the professionals of marketing, a wonderful, very professional lady, and she told me that they are looking who can make, those Cartoon Network characters they make in fabric. And they asked to a Chinese company an estimate. And they compare with an estimate from a Mexican company. The Mexican company, is sad to accept, was budget more expensive, and the delivery time was like 6 months later. She called China. China give a cost that represents less than the quarter of the price estimated in Mexico, and the delivery time was in 2 weeks. Obviously, Cartoon Network ordered that promotional products from China because they have no choice. They have to do it in the only country prepared to do that is China. And many experiences are happening. When I published my first book I get a phone call from a Chinese company represented in Atlanta. They offered to print my book, copy edit, and deliver in 3 weeks, printed in China. They gave me an estimate that every book was less than $1, a fraction of dollar. But I don't feel confidence. Something inside me told me, I live in the United States of America. I must use the services, the domestic services, the domestic printings. And I hire an American company, and I order my books, print from an American company. The price was about $3. But you know what? I told to myself, I don't mind, because this is generating jobs to Americans. And I work too hard to send my money to China. The day you read many things about the Bitcoin and the companies that are manipulating stocks in China, you are going to change your mind like me. So I print my book in America, and I am very happy. I have an excellent quality. Deadlines delivery were met and exceeded, and forget it. No, and I don't jeopardize my quality, because even Chinese people could speak good Spanish. I don't like, because I knew the QC of the copy editing is going to be done by a spelling checker from Microsoft Word, wherever. And I say to myself, no way, Magay, I am not going to send to China. And I publish by myself here in America. And the book is doing fine. And I love it. And the quality is okay. Also, when I go to the pharmacy and I need to buy some stuff for myself, I told to the pharmacist, and it's so funny because he's Chinese, but he studied in America. I told him, you know what, sir, sorry, don't feel offended. I decide do not buy any more made in China. If you have this and this and this and this made in America, I get it. Yeah, I was blessed because part of my medications and my stuff is made in Germany, and I get it. So, talking more things about it, I don't have anything against the Chinese people. They are very smart, they are hardworking people, but I believe that people from India, from Pakistan, from Italy, from Mexico, from Argentina, Chile, Ecuador, that people also deserves the opportunity to manufacture products for the United States of America. Why only China? Because after the conflict of the Tiananmen Square more than 35 years ago, Bill Clinton declares China like the most privileged nation to do business and send all the business to China. They outsource Apple, Hewlett-Packard, a lot of technology companies in Silicon Valley have their factory in China. So I come to the point that I say no. There are also good Japanese, German, Swiss products. And why I have to be obligated to buy made in China? No. I don't like to do that. In fact, the other day, and a friend of mine brought under my attention a situation. Francisco, if you go very early to Walmart around 7 a.m. when they are stocking merchandise on the shelves, you walk in and you breathe. Everything smells like if you are in the most polluted factory. Everything smells to chemistry, something weird. And he was right. I went into the store, one of the Walmart branches close to my house, and I say to myself, he is right. Everything smells like the fumes, the plastic fumes that they transpire products when they process the plastics and many things, like a tire. Have you smelled a tire when it's brand new? Something like that. And I changed my mind. Now, when I buy stuff for my kitchen, I try to find other brands from other countries, and I try to do an equal way. If China is the most privileged country to do business in the world, other countries must be also the candidates to have an opportunity to do business in the world. And I am doing. Probably I am crazy because I am in the middle of the store and I ask a question, and my second question is where it is coming from. China? Oh no, I don't buy made in China, and I take back. People watch me weird. But in couple situations, two ladies and an elderly man agree with me. And they told me, thank you for doing that. You are enhancing the right of choice. Because if I have the right of choice and say, I want to buy this from Mexico, this from Italy, this from Germany, this from the forests of this place, I can have better quality, more clean products. I'm not forced and I'm not obligated necessarily to consume products made in China. Excuse me. No way. Let me see the label. Oh, made in China. Shame. Next time I go to the store, I'm going to look made in Mexico. I am a big coffee drinker. I brew coffee 3 times a day, and I love to drink good coffees. And I used to have a collection. My friend, almost brother, John Givens from the San Diego Union Tribune. I send you a hug, brother. Sorry. I send you a hug. I love you, mom and sisters. He has a collection, coffee from El Salvador, coffee from Costa Rica, coffee from Guatemala, coffee from Mexico, coffee from like 10 countries. And he makes his combinations in sometimes, or he choose one. And I love it. So I did the same. And coffee is one of the most delicious drinks. And I have a big dispute to clean my teeth because, you know, if you drink coffee often, your teeth comes brown. But I have a special cleaner that is not made in China, is made in America to use after I brush my teeth. And they seem clean. I brushed this morning and I'm going to do tonight. I highly recommend it to you, this cleaner. And I only use Colgate toothpaste. They have an amazing one, cavity protection, the blue one. And I put a sip of baking soda. So the toothpaste becomes more strong, and when I rub my gums and my teeth, I felt very clean. So later I clean between the teeth. I have a dentist sister, so the last thing I can do is don't brush my teeth well. So, and it's important. In fact, when Dr. Anthony Fauci declares on the senatorial commission about this pandemic, one of the experts who speaks there says that it is not only the key point is not only the social distance, wash your hands, and protect yourself. One of the key points is keep clean your mouth, keep clean your teeth, keep clean your gums, because they are the places where more bacteria and viruses hide. Believe it or not, the coronavirus or any virus can there, stay there for weeks, go to your throat, and from the throat to the lungs. And that is the problem. So every day I'm brushing and cleaning, making gargles and everything, because I have family to protect, and we must be away from that virus. And every room has that cleaner. And I buy toothpaste by industrial amounts, and every bathroom has brushes, regular brushes, and electric brushes if you like to use one, toothpaste, and the cleaners. And my family, my wife is better than me brushing her teeth. And my son loves to brush. And I just remember like yesterday when my son was a little boy and my wife held him to brush the teeth. What important is educate kids to the habits to sanitize yourself is one of the most important things. And I have it very present because every night before my wife pray with my son, and he already brushed his teeth, he asked me, Daddy, tell me a story when you were a reporter. And he loves that I always tell him a story about that I cover a man who assaulted a gas station. In Mexico, we have dispatchers on the gas stations. We don't have automated systems, so that you don't have to go into the store and pay for the gasoline. No. Dispatchers have a bunch of cash, a huge pack of bills, and a pen on his ear. I have that very present, and an apron where they put the calculator and many things. So they are very good counting the cash and dispatching, and they pump the gas into your car. So one day, 3 men come with a gun and try to take the cash from his hand. And he opposed resistance. So the attacker take the gun and shoot here on his head. With the gunshot, the man fall, but he never released the money. He has the fistful of money on his hands, and he covered with his apron, and he falls. With the gunshot impact, everybody was alert, and people start to call police. Criminals have to run. But the dispatcher awakes and stand up, and he has a little hole here bleeding, and a little hole on the back of his head bleeding too. And when the emergency crew arrived, they told, you have a bullet in your brain. We must go to the hospital. No, I feel okay. And the owner is not here, and I have all the cash. And I was reporter. I was taking pictures of him. and interviewing how this is happening, witnesses, etc., etc. So he declined to be attended by the paramedics. So the doctors make a brief inspection, because in the ambulances in Mexico always is a man who almost finished the school of medicine. Basically, he's learning and practicing. And Dr. Belden, very smart gentleman, review and check this hole. In fact, he wears a glove and touch, and he says, hey, there is no bone fracture. So he put a Band-Aid over there. When he checks the opposite sides, he saw the same thing. There is not fracture on the bone. So they cure the bleeding, they clean around, and they start to look around, and they found like 10 feet away the bullet. So what the bullet did, and doctor explained, this is the hardest part of the I forgot the name in English of this bone that covers the brain. The bullet comes and slip a little bit for the curve and goes around the skin and later leave out. So the bullet never touched the brain. The bullet was under the skin, was like a subcutaneous injection, basically. So the man was talking, he was laughing, he calls his family because television crew was taping him and telling, hey, he survived an assault with a gunshot, and everybody, he was the attraction up there. Thanks to Lord, the gentleman survived. But my son loves to hear that story the way I explain him. And he was telling, Papi, tell me that story again. And my wife was so mad because every night I tell him I was police news and accidents and the police page report, and every night we saw many things that happens around Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico. So after that, he was relaxed and he goes to sleep very happy. He prays with his mom, and he was so happy sleeping. And he loves. One day I traveled to Milwaukee, and when American Line starts the instant messenger, the first instant messengers were from American Line. And remember that Time Warner merged with Turner Broadcasting System, and later American Line merged with Time Warner Turner. And every one of us has an account with American Line, and we have a device that tells us the numbers to log in for security. And remember, hey, you got mail. So we use the regular Outlook with the Turner email, and we also can use the American Line email to connect for business and for the family. And was so funny because I call home by the video conference. The resolution was very poor, honestly, but I appreciate we have it. And my son was very excited, waiting beside the computer to daddy calls and send messages. He likes to hear a story. I was in Macon, Milwaukee, and he wants to listen this story from my news experiences. So was so funny. But I like to combine these comments because this is a charla. This is a conversation, informal conversation. And I really enjoy it doing this because I take the stress out from this isolation or quarantine, whatever you want to call. But the point is that we are learning too much after this pandemic. And keep in mind that the Spanish virus, the Spanish flu experience is what the experts are advising. Don't go to the crowds and touch each other. Hey, it's over. And you hug and kiss your friends. You go to Starbucks, sit there, invite couple friends, drink coffee. No. We must take measures, safety measures, because we don't know. This situation is not over yet. This situation can be worse, and is what they are advising. So, careful, social distance. When I wash my hands, I do like physicians. Have you seen how physicians wash their hands and wash the elbows and everything? They almost jump into the sink and take a shower there. But I prefer do that come home and bring problems. So if you are still in quarantine and you are planning go back to business, do carefully. Carry sanitizer in the car, in the office, everywhere. Hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes. I clean everything in my way out, in my way back. And I always take my shower. Because protecting ourselves, we protect others. And I hope very soon this situation will be over and we can travel and see our relatives. I have 3 free tickets I got for my mileage in the airline. I have an Advantage Club of American Airlines, and I used to have the Sky Miles. Months before, I basically cash my miles and request tickets for the spring break for my family and myself. And I call just weeks when they start to talk about the pandemic and everybody was traveling. I call. They couldn't help me. I lost my tickets. Well, the good thing is I haven't spent a penny on it. They are miles, and many things happen on life. If I lose miles, well, thanks to Lord, they were airplane miles and not other belongs or somebody of my family. So I hope we can come back to normal life soon, and we must travel and live normal because life must go on. Move over. Money, we are not taking to the coffin. We must expand and enjoying family, know new places. And I am looking on the background this nice picture. Let me show you because it's amazing. This picture is one of my favorites. We are scuba diving in Bahamas, Nassau, my son and myself. And that was his first time he dives. Now, he dived in Costa Rica, in Vietnam. He's a big fan of diving. So I am so glad I introduced him to it and teach the basics. And he learned, and he has his certification, and he loved it. So that is life for. To pray, to work hard, help others, don't give trouble, and appreciate things Lord give us on this wonderful earth, like the trees, the oceans, and many places. Thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me tell you my crazy stories. And I hope we can count with your attention tonight in my Spanish show with my editorial partner Plácido Garza. He's doing a tremendous job managing information from Mexico, and I talk to you soon again. Thank you so much. Lord bless the world. Lord bless Mexico, and Lord bless America. Thank you.